Hello, friends. Let's get this party started. You will notice on both sides of these equations that we have square roots. Sometimes we call those radicals. Radicals are, I suppose, more general than square roots. Radicals do not have to necessarily be square roots. They don't have to be to the power of 1/2. But in this case, we do. Now, we have these square roots on both sides, which might make you a little scared. But let's see what happens if we square this and if we square this. That means on the left side, we're left with 5x plus 3. And on the right side, we're left with 13x minus 13. So if we subtract 5x from both sides, and if we add 13 to both sides, and then if we divide by 8, we get 2. We could check it. So that's 5 times 2, which is 10, plus 3, that's 13. And then 13 times 2 minus 13 times 1 is just 13. So yes, we did it. It worked. Now, sometimes in these equations, we get what are called extraneous solutions. Full disclosure, when I first wrote this page, we got an extraneous solution. But we don't have to worry about that right now. But it is a good idea to plug in all the time with these radical equations because sometimes we do get something that doesn't quite work. And now, on this one, we don't have a square root on both sides, but we do have a square root on the left side. So let's go ahead and square there. And let's square here. Now, if you're like any human I know, you're probably going to mess up the right side because you're going to forget that this is x plus 3 times x plus 3. You're just going to write it as x squared plus 9, which is going to be totes wrong. But let's go ahead and do this correctly. So on the left side, we have x squared minus 3x. On the right side, let's make sure we distribute everything correctly. I did that in a bizarre order. So that's going to give me x squared. There's going to be 3x, but that's going to happen twice. And then there's going to be 3 times 3, which is 9. So now we have an equation we can solve. Let's subtract x squared from both sides. Ooh, those go away. That's nice. I'm going to subtract 6x from both sides. Nope. And that's negative 9x. And then 9. And then I'm going to divide by negative 9. So x is negative 1. So let's plug that back in and see if it works. Well, negative 1 squared is 1. Negative 3 times 1 is 3. Sorry, negative 3 times negative 1. And then negative 1 plus 3 is 2. Now 1 plus 3 is 4. Square root of 4 is 2. Look, we did it.